am I speaking to right now?
Cameron.
My name
Cameron.
is
Cam Buford. Hey, it's Peter Rosenberg. I'm hanging on my man Cameron Buford.
We got some good questions today.
I'm a Dolphin fan.
There's always room for improvement.
I'm more a fan of boxing. Boxing is my main sport.
All we want to see every year are the best two mothers getting in the ring and getting them.
I got some of this for you.
Goodness. For me?
Yeah, just for you.
Think about it like this: the promoter pays the fighter, the fighter pays the manager.
Okay.
So the manager works for the fighter, and the fighter works
Work for the promoter. Okay.
So you are lifting weights currently?
When he said it's easier to score in the NBA versus Europe, did you agree with them?
To me, it's easy to score all over the world.
Can I finish? Do you want me to speak, or do you want to conduct the interview and answer for me? Which one?
What do you think about this upcoming?
Aaron, like I was saying before.
Aaron, what has the game of baseball taught you?
One of the biggest things is being humble.
Can you give a message to the kids to kind of persevere through the false teachings they may be giving?
Patience.
Okay.
Patience.
As the show Voice of the Fans
Oh my goodness!
continues to
I'm in
evolve,
tears.
Come on, you were adding some spice to it.
it is strictly banter back and forth between myself and Cameron Buford.
I enjoy all of it.
The real ones know what's going on, right?
Never mind.
Go watch the tape. Go watch the tape, and then you tell me if it was all about just a system.
You look like a buffoon.
Go do your research. Go do your study.
I'm not caught up to you guys yet. I do
Real, real surprised at that, Cam.
Hey, come here. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Oh, this guy.
That's what's good in sports, man. It's the big Snoop Dogg, man.
That's what's good in sport.
Thank you for making our voice your choice.
If you haven't told your girlfriend about the show, tell her about the show. If you haven't told your boyfriend about the show, tell him about the show. If you haven't told your cousin, your uncle, your grandfather about the show, let everybody know about the Voice of the Fans podcast.
Hey, man, thanks for making our voice your choice. You know how we do. Yeah.
What's good, fans? Thank you guys for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast. Tonight is a special night, November 19th, 2025. This Wednesday, we got my man, Bo. What's up, Bo? Football Talk with Bo. You can find him on multiple platforms. He's joining us here tonight to talk some NFL, talk about these Seahawks. I want to hear what he has to say about his boy, Sam Darnold. Now, he's been a Sam Darnold believer. I want to hear what he got. I want to hear what Bo got to say about Sam Darnold. Bo, welcome to the show. Let the people know where they can find you, Bo.
Yeah, no, always great to hang out, man. And that intro is awesome. I like Herbert's. Does it not look like I'm working out? Like that was priceless.
Yeah, that was good.
But yeah,
good
to find me, the easiest place to find me is probably on YouTube at Football-Talk. All the socials, Football Talk with Bo. But you can find me on Roku TV, ICU Radio. Like I'm all over the place.
You're all over the place too. Well, tonight, Bo, not only you're on the Voice of the Fans podcast, you're being simulcast, or I don't know, is this TriCast, if that's ever a word. You're on H&B Media TV. That's a platform that the Voice of the Fans podcast is also on. Talk a lot of basketball on that platform as well. But you're also on Culture Flix TV. This is another Northwest network here. So Culture Flix TV is getting some football talk with Bo tonight. So say hi to the people from Culture Flix, Bo.
Good to meet you all.
Again, we're Bo. So there's a couple of topics that before we get into the game rundowns, which will really help us dive into each of the games. But what's your thoughts on what's up, Barry? Thanks for tuning in, big dog. One of our longtime listeners. What's your thoughts on Shedeur Sanders? Now, obviously, he's going to get the start this week, so he's going to get some reps. He's going to get a chance to be ready. Have a weekly mindset in preparation for the game. Should he have been ready for his opportunity, and should he have looked better as a rookie coming in?
So, I mean, no, not really. When you think about it. So, I mean, I thought people that had him with a first round grade had him overdrafted, right? Okay. Now the 5th round I thought was ridiculous. I thought he was a 3rd round talent. right? I thought Gabriel was a third round talent. Honestly, including Cam Ward, I thought everybody in this particular draft, had they been in last year's draft, there wouldn't have been one of them in the first round, right? So I wasn't expecting.
Well, teams always stretch in the first round. So
no, they
somebody would have picked. Somebody would have got picked. Whether deserving or not. Is I get your point, but teams always reach for somebody.
Well, the depth of talent from the year before is where I was going with that. Is the year before there was enough good people that I don't think anybody in last year's draft would have been in the first round if they would have been all drafted together. Is where I was going.
My bad. Okay, I didn't mean to.
But looking at this, I didn't think any of these guys were ready to go for year one. Right. I thought a lot of these guys needed to develop, even though the NFL doesn't really like to do that anymore. These were all guys that needed some work in their game. Sure. And so for him to come in and he's backing up a rookie. So of course he's not getting reps because you need your rookie starter to get as many reps as possible. It's not like he's got a veteran in front of him that can split some reps because he's got a decade in the league. This is a guy that you're trying to get to learn the playbook also. So
I can see that going both ways, but okay, go ahead, continue.
Well, no, I mean, so like if he had a veteran in front of him, you could see how he might get some reps, right? But because he's got a rookie that needs all the reps, I see why he didn't, right? So then he comes in, and this is where people are like, oh, he had, 40 yards and a pick, and he was, 4 of 16 or whatever. All of that is true. But that also means you're overlooking the fact that you had an offensive line that was so porous that it knocked the other quarterback out. And then if you really want to have some fun, go watch the offensive line play once Shedeur got in, because there were a couple instances where the offensive line blocked themselves and there was a free rusher coming at him. Now, I don't know too many quarterbacks that are going to thrive in that particular scenario, but needless to say, he needs to play better. Right. Like there's no getting around the fact that he made some bad decisions. In fact, one of his other passes easily could have been picked that wasn't.
So why I bring that up is people are making a big stink about him not getting no reps. I can kind of like as you mentioned, they want to get the rookie number one, their rookie starting quarterback ready. I get that, but that's the reason probably that you might want to give a couple reps to your rookie backup, because if by happenstance he ends up in the game, he's going to have some kind of understanding of what it takes from sticking his hand under the center's butt at some point.
I would agree with that if Gabriel looked better. But Gabriel looks like he needs as many reps as he's getting, okay. Right? And so, and they have a vested interest in Dylan being ready because he was their third round pick. He was their primary focus when they were in the draft. So they really want to make sure that guy works, right? Yeah. So, and because he hasn't looked sharp, he's been inconsistent. They want to get him as many reps as possible. Totally makes sense. The downside is you got rid of your veteran. So now you have another rookie as the backup that isn't getting reps. And so, yeah, of course, when he comes in, he's not going to look great. I don't expect him to be like worlds better this week, although he is going against a much softer team in the Raiders. So that'll be beneficial. And he'll probably get a couple extra cracks at it because Gino's going to throw a couple picks. So, I mean,
look at you.
Gino catching a stray there.
You're right. For no reason at all.
But yeah, so, I mean, that's kind of where it is I think he's going to have a better outing. He's going to get some reps, but he's still not going to be like great.
Oh,
but
yeah,
they are going against a much worse team. So,
well, it'll be interesting, and he should look a little bit more prepared. Obviously, coming Sunday against the Raiders. Speaking of those Raiders, now you gave the O-line excuse for Cleveland and make some very valuable points. Is the O-line the blame for Ashton Genty's lack of productivity thus far in the NFL?
Well, I'll give you a stat and then you tell me. His average point of contact is 1 yard. He is getting away from his first impact on average at 1 yard. And he's tore off some big ones, which means most of his contact is behind the line of scrimmage. You tell me if that's an offensive line issue.
Well, hold on now. So the reason, and that's an interesting stat. You hit me with something I wasn't expecting there. Have we not seen rookie running backs perform in the NFL? And
yes, but they don't generally get hit as they get the ball.
I mean,
not too
I
many
don't remember.
guys,
I don't remember.
Guys
I don't remember how many Hall of Famers I'll say Adrian Peterson played with in Minnesota. Sure. Though he did have Hutchins. He did have that. Now that I say that he had Hutchinson. Now that I say that was there when he went there.
Well, and also when you think of Hutchinson, remember he got another running back a league MVP.
Right. Again, that just came to my mind. Just as I said, that Adrian Peterson in the rookie year, Hutchinson stuck out right there. Yeah. But there's been rookie running backs to perform. So I'm not ready. That was an interesting stat you thrown at me, and maybe I'm gonna have to examine that a little bit further. But I'm not willing to put all the blame because I've seen special guys, and I don't see special from Ashton Genty. Do you see special from Ashton Genty?
I don't think we've seen enough to even know, because they're also playing from behind enough. They're not running all the time, right?
I don't know. Is that I'm wondering has the Game Pass peaked by? Because they're not even disciplined. This team isn't. They're not even playing disciplined football.
No, they do nothing well.
And that's not a. I think I personally believe there are athletes on every football team. On every NFL team, there are athletes. There's good athletes, and not just run-of-the-mill athletes. These are not who the Ole Miss play? What league do they play in? They're not in that Big Ten athletes. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about legitimate athletes because they're playing in the NFL. So if you're able to coach these guys appropriately, you should be able to get something out of these players. Is kind of my perspective.
No, so to your point, I always look at the NFL like your 53rd guy on the worst roster was an All-American somewhere, right? Exactly. Like you're talking the 1% of the 1%. So of course they are phenomenal athletes, even if they're the guys that every fantasy guy is like, that's a scrub. It's like, he's a top level athlete. So let's calm down. Yeah. That being said, there is tiers.
There's levels to this. I feel you.
And that's where I think Genty is having a tough time, is because not only does the offensive line do him no favors, but that team is so janky in the way that because they don't do anything well, you never see them get on any kind of rhythm on any side of the ball. And so it's been, I don't know too many players that would succeed in that scenario where you have a line that's getting you lit up all the time and you're playing from behind a lot. So you're only running in like known running moments. So, I mean, it's just sort of, again,
it was just 3 years ago. It was just 3 seasons ago that my man ran for 1,200 yards. He's in Green Bay now. But it was just a few seasons ago.
Yeah.
That they had production. These players, I mean,
somehow that team was better than this team. It just was. Like the offensive line played better. The defense played incredibly better. Like there's so much wrong with this Raiders team that I really didn't see. Like I predicted them to be a scrappy team that would be interesting. And instead, they've been awful. So
it was 2022 that Josh Jacobs ran for 1,600 yards.
I know.
So, they haven't disintegrated. They haven't disintegrated that much.
But they have. and not by personnel, just by execution.
That's terrible. That's terrible. Enough of that. That's something that's just been racking my brain, and I'm gonna have to look into what was the stat you gave me?
Yeah,
he's getting contact. His per carry contact is happening less than 1 yard.
Yeah, it's just over a yard.
Just over a yard. I'm gonna have to look into that stat, fans. I'm gonna have to get back to you guys on that one. I'm gonna have to fact check Bo on that one.
Yeah,
buddy.
No, it was a stat that was given to me earlier this week.
No, that's an interesting stat. That's a very interesting stat.
And it makes sense. Like when you see what's going on, because then you're just like, oh, okay, yeah, like they're really letting people by. So,
Bo, are you wearing a ring? You got the ring on? Can you flash a ring in front of everybody? Oh, he's gonna pull it off himself.
There you go.
Tell me. Okay, Bo, national championship, championship ring, Bo. Has anybody ever spit on you, Bo?
Yes, and I had but not on a football field.
Well, that's what we were talking about.
And so it didn't happen on a football field. It did happen when I was younger, and I responded very similarly. I punched him square in the face.
What is I like you, Jamar. You were one of my favorite guys. You can't go around spitting on people.
Well, and why is it happening more? Like we have multiple times now this year.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it to begin with. One of my rules from all my teammates was you can't spit on the field. God forbid I'm running the ball. God forbid I get tackled and fall in some of your spit. I don't want that to happen. So no spitting on the field. Yeah. That's number one. Okay, that's enough right there. You do that on the sideline.
Yep.
So on each other, come on, guys.
And the thing
that's so low. That's so low class. I think that's so low class.
It is. Well, and then to make it even crazier, right? Is it's not like it was really far removed from when it happened before. It was week one. You had Jalen Carter and Dak, and Dak spit his way, and Carter spit on him, and then Carter was suspended or ejected from the game before it even started. They hadn't even started the game, and he was booted. So it's not even like you're years removed from somebody having a negative experience at it.
I think it's happened another time this season. I don't remember exactly, but I think it's happened another time before Jamar Chase situation.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Is Jalen Carter and Dak spit on each other, and Jalen Carter was the one that got seen. He was ejected from the game. Game hadn't even started yet.
Right. That was at the beginning of the season. That was Thursday Night Football, right?
Yep. That was the first game.
Yeah.
It was opening night.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it happened another time since then, before this incident. I'm thinking it happened. Maybe it was college football. Nonetheless, it's a ridiculous act.
So the thing that's wild, makes it even worse, I guess, is the fact that he then comes and is like, I didn't do it. It's like, dude, we have every camera ever, and we're seeing it in 4K in slow-mo. Like, we could watch the thing land on the guy. Like, what are you talking about? You didn't do it. And then you appeal it? That was the shortest appeal meeting ever. They're like, oh, yeah, you did that. We're like, we see you. Like,
They should have gave him another game. Jamar, you deserved another game.
Just for lying?
For the appeal, for putting us through extra work, Jamar. Come on, man. That's you lose cool points on that for real. It's so atrocious. Young players. Was it worth it? It couldn't have been worth it.
Couldn't have been.
It couldn't have been worth it. So let's get into these games last week and just talk about some of the big games that happened this week. We had the Eagles and the Lions. The Eagles still struggling to score points, and the Lions still struggling. Well, they scored big points against some scrubs, but they're still having trouble beating good teams. They couldn't. Jared Goff shows up.
Do you think it was that, or do you think it was the fact that they went for it on fourth down 5 times, didn't convert any of them, and some of them were on the wrong side of the 50?
I mean, I can't be a hypocrite because a lot of the times I'd probably be going for it too. Like some coaches would have to tell me, no, we're punting here, and because I probably more often than not would be going for it. So I'm not going to be a hypocrite then. Sometimes it comes down to the play calls. Sometimes it comes down to just
if you're in scoring position, I get it, right? Like if you're close, but like some of these, you're on the wrong side of the 50. That
you're
especially
35, when you're 35, you're 30. Yeah, some of that's uncalled for.
Yeah.
If I'm at the midfield, it opens it up. It kind of opens it up for me. I can't be a hypocrite for that because I believe that has confidence. You're showing confidence in your team. Some would say you're showing a lack of confidence in your defense. I say you're showing confidence in your offense. And they don't get it. I can't be a results-based because I would, again, more often than not, I'd probably be asking to go for it. And so I'm not going to blame their loss on that, but maybe in the playoff games, I would say now he was taking points off the board when he did this in the playoff games. He wasn't necessarily taking points off the board.
Well, there were
the
two
other day against Eagles.
There were two that they would have been field goals. So I mean, and that would have been the difference in this game. But when you're close, that's where I'm saying I wouldn't be the hypocrite. Like when you're on the positive side there, it's exactly what they do as a culture, right? Like Dan Campbell is, we're going for it, whatever. But when you are stopping the other team and you're not having success at running that play, because although you can look at the analytics, be like, oh yeah, we hit this all the time, but today we're 0 for 4. You know what I might do is I might punt on my side of the field on that 5th try, be like, hey, you know what? Our defense is doing its job. Let's get the ball back.
So now that you're thinking about it, they did try to run the ball 4 times on the goal line.
Yep.
And that's not going to work as nice as Gibbs is. You can't run Gibbs up the middle. I think they tried that 2 times in a row on 3rd and 4th down against this Eagles defense. So that's why I say play calling is a factor there. Sometimes you have to have some variable play calling. But I still have confidence in Eagles, mainly because of the coach, mainly because they have a lot of talent there. They do play indoors. And golf. If golf has to go outdoors, that's when the problem begins. The Ravens were able to beat the Browns, the Broncos, and the Chiefs. Let's talk about that game. Do you have any more confidence in Bo Nix or less confidence in Bo Nix to finish the season with the Broncos season off at the top team in the AFC?
So my issue with that offense didn't change because they did the same thing anyway. Is my issue with the Bo Nix offense is, for whatever reason, 3/4 of the game they don't do anything. The first 3 quarters, they're just like, you know what, defense, like keep it close, man. And then in the 4th quarter, they come out and they ball.
Yeah.
My worry for them is that won't play well when you get to the playoffs. Like you're going to have to figure out how to play for 60 minutes on offense, because if you're playing for 15,
who their defense is good and has been shown that they're good enough to hold most teams under 20 points.
Yeah, but what's going to happen is they're going to come up against a defense that can also play for 60 minutes.
Right. Okay.
So if you're spotting teams' points and you're relying on the comeback every week, at some point that's going to bite you.
That's going to bite you. But again, their defense is holding most teams. Now they played New York they let them score 33 points, but most teams they're holding under 21 points, and that's typically that number. You can, if the offense says give us a 21-point advantage, they're going to win that game. So it's going to be interesting to see. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, but you got to keep in mind that the playoffs, unlike everybody else's playoffs, is one and done. So you only got to get got once.
You only got you right. That's true. Talking about getting got once, have the Chiefs gotten once too many times?
You know what we're going to find out is this weekend, because they play the Colts.
I mean, I thought it was the Broncos weekend was the telltale story, but this just digs them into a further hole should they lose to the Colts. What's your prediction for that game?
So it tells us about 2 different teams. Because it tells us who are KC, right? Because basically, if they're going to try and make a playoff run now, they're a wild card team at best, right? And they'll have a hard time catching the other teams in their division. So they're playing for probably that last seed. So they're going to have to win against a team like the Colts. At the same time, the Colts haven't had a lot of good wins against good teams, right? They beat up on some bad teams. This will be that game that lets you know the Colts are for real, or it'll be that game that you're like, okay, maybe this one will catapult KC into making that push, because they're going to have to go 3 of 4 over their next, over their next 4 games. Their next 4 games are not the easiest grouping. Like, Dallas is looking better. Obviously, they'll probably beat up on the Texans, but then they start having division games where they're playing the Chargers and the Broncos, and so I mean, like, you're going to have those kind of games coming up. So KC, if they're going to make a playoff run, they have to start this weekend. And if we want to take the Colts seriously, they need this game this weekend.
Right. That makes that one of my games of the week there, because both teams need to. It's a show and tell for both teams. Although I think the Chiefs. That's a good. I didn't really think about it more so from the Colts aspect, but I understand exactly what you're saying and why it is. For the Chiefs, I think the Chiefs might be not making the playoffs this year. As crazy as that sounds. Seahawks and the Rams. Even with Sam Darnold's 4 interceptions, the Rams only won by 2 points. Matthew Stafford, like, he's doing, I think he's doing just enough to win games. I'm not really this MVP category. I'm not seeing MVP out of Matthew Stafford, but he's winning games. He has Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams to throw to. So of course he's gonna look good. He's not gonna look terrible. But the Rams defense is amazing. The Seahawks defense is amazing. So the fact that we saw 40 points in this game was was amazing, because both these teams have awesome defenses. Was this more of an indictment on Sam Darnold, or was it some of the play calling by Kubiak and the Seahawks, or was it a lack of talent? You tell me. And I hesitate to go lack of talent for the Seahawks, because I would say lack of running back talent. But go ahead, you tell me. Oh, and have you heard any word about Zabel? I haven't really truthfully heard anything on Zabel.
So he is listed as day-to-day. He did not have meaningful damage. So no surgery, nothing like that. But he is day-to-day. I would expect him to miss this week.
Okay.
But
are they off this week? No, the Dolphins are off this week.
No, yeah, they already had their bye week.
Yeah.
But so talent isn't the issue. This team is littered with talent. You can argue it may be the best defense when you figure some of those turnovers gave Stafford and company the ball in field goal range and they came away with no points. Yeah. So, the Seahawks defense is absolutely no joke, and that's with some of the starters missing. So you're looking at incredible depth on a defense that has been remarkable.
Before you go on, and I hate to cut you off, but you know what that is, and I like to see this as good selection process. It's a good selection because you have young guys performing. I love to see the young guys fit into a program, or they pick guys to fit into their program, and they produce. What Imanwara is doing is phenomenal. Now, he is a tremendous talent, but how they're using him is phenomenal. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. And I mean, and honestly, if you're Tariq Woolen, you got to be a little worried.
Yeah. Well, he's going to ask for some money here pretty soon, and that's going to be the problem. They're going to say, "Well, thanks for your time. It was nice having you here."
That is honestly how it's going to go.
You can come back and raise the flag any week you want to.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, outside of his rookie year, he's been wildly inconsistent. So, and some of the guys that have stepped in, the times that he's been injured, or when he got benched for not wanting to tackle people, we've seen good stuff out of replacements for him. So there's a real likelihood that maybe he won't be there.
KC won't make the playoffs, and Indy's fool's gold. I mean, we're getting kind of late in the season to call fool's gold, but here we're going to see Sundays as show and tell.
Yeah, we'll find out. Yeah. But when we're talking about Sam Darnold, obviously he had a bad day. And the Rams.
This is just 2 bad days in a row. If we're being honest, it's just 2 bad games in a row.
Yeah.
Even in that blowout. Outside of that, the first play of the game where he threw that long touchdown pass to Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Well,
it was all down. It was all downhill from there. He had 2 fumbles, 2 questionable. Well, I mean, what's a good fourth quarter? He was he trying to clean up for the junk that he gave us from quarter 2 and 3. I mean, okay. Yes. So I think it's 2 questionable games in a row, but continue.
But yeah, no. So the game against Arizona, obviously, 2 of those scores was for the defense anyway. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, he had a couple of bad moments in there. He had a lot of bad moments in this game against the Rams. Some of this had to do with him just making bad decisions. Some of it had to do with Anthony Bradford straight up just missing guys. I don't know. It's frustrating because he's still the best right guard option we have on the roster, which lets you know there's no depth there. But unfortunately, when you watch, there's been a ton of times where he's lunged and just straight missed a guy, and he's looking backwards at the play.
Watching him sack
making him run. They're like, he turns around. He's like, Sam, you should run.
Run, Doug. So Sam has coughed it up. Shame on Sam for doing so. I think the defense is good enough that they can come back. I'm hoping that they can get something out of the run game. I'm kind of I was Charbonnet I was calling him decent last season, and I think he's kind of regressed this year. And Walker, he's off and on. I like the way Mike McDaniel didn't start him on Sunday. So when he finally came in and got the ball, he was running with the speed and juice and trying to show why he should have been the starter. That was a good concept. But Charbonnet, again, I was down on him when they drafted him. He had he had a bad season his rookie year. Last year, I thought he was decent. I was more impressed with Charbonnet last season. And this season, I don't see much of a carryover. What's your thoughts on their running game?
So the running game, unfortunately, is impacted a lot by Bradford. Because if your guy isn't making contact with people, it means that linebacker or that interior lineman is filling that hole.
Is
right?
Open. Yeah,
so if the running play is going to the right, it's getting stuffed. Because unfortunately, he just isn't making contact with his guys at the rate he's supposed to be. I've seen him hit our own guys ahead of hitting other guys. So it's been frustrating to watch as I break down tape. I'll send you the my low light
of the Seahawks.
Of Bradford, because I started watching him specifically because it's like, man, what are we doing out here? So you'll see him, or even in situations where you end up with a pulling guard. He's so slow out of his stance. He's just chasing the play. Like he's not leading to help close off an end for the running back to come up. He's just like, hey, good job. Oh, you should dodge that guy. Like, I mean, it's kind of crazy. Bradford he's got so many lowlights this year in every single game. The only thing I can say really positive for him is he has a lot less penalties this year than he has over the last couple of years. But yeah, so when you have openings in the line, the running game suffers, right?
Fair enough. That's fair enough. I'm not gonna belabor the Seahawks, but I think the Rams, that was a good game to tell who's at the top of the division. They will meet each other later on and probably be for the division. I think it's second to the last game of the season, or the last game of the season. One of the two.
Second to last.
So they'll meet again. This time the Hawks will get them up here, and it'll be a little frigid. It'll be a little frigid come January. So we'll see how the Rams perform in that weather. A couple more games that we can run through. What's your thoughts on? Really want to get your thoughts on Jordan Love. They played the Giants, so it wasn't a tough game. But what's your thoughts on Jordan Love? Can he be consistent enough to get the Packers, make them top 4, or get them to the NFC Championship? I think that's where they kind of should be, based on the talent that they have. Or is he dealing with the drops that his receivers are having? Is that going to impact their season?
Yeah, I mean, some of it's the drops, some of it's the ball isn't quite on target. I thought he got paid too soon, personally. When he got his big contract.
Are you saying he wasn't worth it, or?
Well, the market
still had more. He still had more to show. It was a market. Yeah, it was that time.
The market is whatever it is. So I mean, I don't know that any of the $55 million quarterbacks are really worth it right now, because we're talking about Tua and Trevor Lawrence and Jordan Love. So I mean, what are we doing? Yeah. But my thing for Love is they gave him the $55 million a year extension, and it was based on a year where he didn't play particularly well and then went on a run in the last 7 games. Mm-hmm. So you're giving him $55 million a year off of 7 good games.
Well, he kind of turned the corner in those 7, the second half of the season. We're turning the corner.
But then he started slow the next year.
I think. Well, he hurt. Didn't he? Something happened where he was hurt. Missed a couple games in preseason.
I'm just saying,
trying to come back, and it wasn't. Last year was a kind of injury. He got injured 2 different times.
Yeah.
I mean, paid too soon. I mean, I don't know how much their concept changed. So, do you think he stopped working hard once he got a contract?
I don't think it's
Or you think he started relaxing? Now he's relaxing and not he pulling the Mike Vick, throwing the playbook in the trunk after practice? Like, what do you think?
I don't think it's anything like that. I just think that he may not be as good as everyone's trying to make him be.
Okay. Now that's a fair point. That's what I'm asking you.
Yeah.
What do you think of him? But I think some of that, I can't blame everything. I'm watching these Packers closely the last few weeks. I can't blame everything on Love. Some of it is the receivers. He putting the ball in the hands. And if your number 1 receiver is Dobbs, I mean, that tells you about the receiving core. Christian Watson was out part of the season, so he just came back. So again, if Dobbs is your number 1 receiver, that tells you about your receiving core. I can't put it all on Jordan Love. I just want to get your quick feedback on Love and what he's doing. Now, who I am concerned about is these Los Angeles Chargers and Justin Herbert. What's your thoughts on Herbert? Now, they're suffering offensive line line issues too, but that offensive line, the poor offensive line, didn't give up 40 points to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
No. Obviously, the defense has something to figure out there, but there's not a lot of guys that are going to be good under center with both offensive tackles out.
Both of them, yeah. Both of them. Well, Slater, what's his name, was a guard. They had him playing tackle, but Alt. But yeah, both of them out. Alt, who was trying to come back and play in the middle. Yeah, it's all bad.
Their line is a mess.
It's all bad. And Justin is just taking a whooping back there.
Yes,
but again, it wasn't the offensive line that gave up all those points on.
No. So your offensive line can negatively affect your defense, though, because if you can't sustain drives, your defense is on the field all day. At some point, you get gassed. You're going to start giving up points.
Understand that point. Let's shine some love. Let's shine some love on Drake May. Did you expect Drake May to be this good?
No. I think they are far and away ahead of schedule. Right. I knew their defense was going to be decent. Right. Vrabel, obviously, great coach.
Yeah.
But I didn't see the offense coming along the way that it has. So they already have more wins than I predicted them to have. I thought they were going to be a 6 or 7 win team, be scrappy, win some games they should, or, win some games they shouldn't, lose some games they shouldn't. Like they felt like they were going to be that kind of team coming in. And man, they look like they are way ahead of schedule.
They certainly are.
That being said, they are the beneficiary of the weakest schedule as far as other teams to play.
Okay,
So-
let's talk about this week schedule. Man.
Okay.
We can't just start throwing. We got to give the guys credit, and I'm a Dolphin fan, so I didn't like Andre Tippett. Okay, so that's how far I've been hating the New England Patriots.
Well, so let's do this.
You talk about the week schedule. But it's not like they're picking the teams that they want to play.
No.
The schedule was made in advance before we know who was who, and you only can beat the teams in front of you. That's only so you can say the Colts.
It's true.
People could talk about the Colts. Oh, and you made mention of it earlier. Now the Colts are going to show who they are. Can they beat the good teams? Well, they can only beat if they lose to the Jaguars and to the Texans. And to the Panthers, if they lose to those teams, you're not going to give them any credit for being a good team, but they beat them. Now they're 8-2. Now they're right here, and people are slow to give them the credit. You got to give teams credit for winning games. It's tough to win. Is it easy to win football games, Bo?
No, of course not.
Okay, so you give credit. A win's a win. Be happy with the win. You can't be talking. Oh, now let's look at the schedule.
So a win and a win is true at the end of the season, because then the wins and the losses, it's all that matters. But when you are who you beat it absolutely matters in your evaluation. Also, how you beat them. If you are sneaking by teams that are vying for the number 1 overall pick, I don't feel like that's a great win. If you're trying to tell me you're a Super Bowl team and you are barely squeaking by who's going to be selecting first overall in the NFL draft, guess what? That's not a great win.
Okay. Hold that thought.
Think about it this way. Wait. Think about it this way. If it was Alabama and they sneak by Tulane, you're not like, man, Tulane's awesome. You're thinking, what is wrong with Alabama?
Fair. Yes, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
And if you lose to them, you're like, you got to be the most just horrible team ever. You lost to Tulane. And sorry for Tulane fans and catching strays. But
straying all over the country.
I could have used Temple too. Same idea. But, but at the same time, when you're talking about power rankings or how it is you think they're going to go, you do use some of that same kind of model. So when you're talking about them losing to the Raiders, that's a terrible loss. When you talk about them,
do Raiders get paid to play football too? Do they? I'm not sure if
man, Davis I don't know. And when you're beating, when you're barely beating the Saints, that's not you need to win over the Saints.
Okay, Bo. So I hear you. I hear and understand what you're saying. This is a great point. It matters when you win.
You beat the Falcons by 1 point at the end, and they really beat themselves.
Bo, last season, the Chiefs won 8 of 9 or 9 of 10 games by 3 points or less.
Yeah, but they were beating playoff teams.
You win. No, a win is a win. That prepared you for winning situations late in the season, right? They made the Super Bowl this year.
That's great.
This year,
I'm telling you, a win.
They're not doing it. Those same games, they're 0-5.
No,
that tells you that they're not ready. That something is off. That they're not preparing themselves to win week after week after week like they were last season.
I'm telling you that if you have a narrow victory over the Rams or the Eagles or the Seahawks, or a narrow victory over the Titans and the Saints, apples ain't apples there. Like one of them has worms and's mushy.
Bo, does a win prepare you to win next week? If you're coming off a win, does that feel better when you're undressing? Does that feel better in the shower? Does that feel better on the training table than if you lost? Does that prepare you then? You're prepared now. You know how to win these ugly games, these ugly, scrappy games.
You want to win every week. That's not the thing. But there is nothing I can say about a win over the Titans, who've punted on the season, that is getting me ready for a win over the Rams. It's not.
Okay.
It's not like that. That is a wildly different thing. That is a JV team versus a Super Bowl favorite.
So that mentality right there causes trap games. Causes you to get high for the Rams and you not to get high for the Titans.
No.
And then there's a loss for the Titans, and then there's we're not as good as we thought to. Is that mentality?
No, it's actually not. That mentality is
a win is a win. You gotta win. Why? How are you guys not celebrating wins? I don't get it.
No, what you're missing is that doesn't create trap games. Because you're not satisfied with sneaking by a bad team. You want to absolutely destroy that team. You want to be like, look, we're gonna struggle with the Rams. We are gonna destroy every team I'm gonna make sure you get the first draft pick.
So does destroying the Arizona Cardinals, did that help Seattle for the Los Angeles Rams the next week?
No, but it's how you want to beat bad teams.
You saw it doesn't matter. Your quarterback is in a big game is going to have a questionable performance. I don't know. It's a good argument, Bo. I'm kind of messing with you. I'm kind of messing with you. I know. I
no, you're good.
A win is a win. I'm kind of messing with you. I kind of messing with you. I know beating the Rams is more significant than beating the Saints. I 100% get it. However, I do believe you only can play the teams in front of you. I can't take any credit from the Colts, who's won an 80% winning percentage, and we're in week 12 of the NFL, and say, they're suspect because I'm not spitting on the Colts like that.
Let's do this, because I have my my top 10 power ranking right here.
Oh, you have your top power ranking. Okay, let's see it. What do you got?
Yes, they do. They help them win all the time.
He's wild, ain't he?
So if
hold on, here we go.
You won't be able to see it because of the banner. So
hold tight. Let me fix it. Let me see. Oh, hold on, guys. I want to see this dude's power ranking. So I'm doing everything I can. Hold on, fellas. I want to see this. I want to see this power ranking.
There you go.
There we go. Okay, Eagles. I think I got the Rams over the Eagles. Seahawks are still right there. When did you do this? This is week 12. This is for week 12, right?
Yeah. So this is. So I update this every Wednesday morning.
So. I got the Rams. I think I got the Rams or the Eagles. Eagles are, to your point earlier, Eagles are winning close games.
They are, but they're beating good teams. So what my point here is when you look at this, if you're going sheerly off record, obviously the Patriots, the Broncos, the Colts should be the top 3. You know why they're not? Because of who they beat.
Wait, you don't even have the Patriots in the top 10?
Yeah, they're top 5.
Oh, it's 5 right there.
They're
5. Yeah, okay, 5. I'm sorry.
But what my point is if you're going just off a record because
no. See, you got that misconstrued.
Wait. Let's check the chat. A win is a win.
Well, you guys are something else. There it is right there.
But no, so but this lets you know that a win isn't a win, right? Like some wins do have more weight to them. So although the Patriots, the Broncos, the Colts, those 3 have the best records in the NFL right now because they haven't had their bye weeks. So they are 9-2. Technically the best records in the league. You know why they're not the top 3? Because they've played teams like the Jets and the Raiders and the Titans and the Saints. So of course they're not going to be the top.
So, Bo, I lived on the East Coast for a bunch of years, nearly a decade. And all I heard was East Coast bias on the it was just everything was East Coast bias. Everything in life actually is East Coast bias, but
yeah, of course.
But I mean, some people just haven't been there to experience it. But it all is East Coast bias. This list is a West Coast bias list, Bo. This is 100% West Coast bias.
It's not. I'm looking at teams that have good wins. Like, you can't tell me the Titans and the Saints and the Jets are awesome wins that you can feel great about. You're out there just banging the chest. I beat the Raiders. Let's go. No, you're like,
but you play football to win the game. And if you win the game, you need to respect the wins. That's the only point I'm making.
We need to dial up Herm. You play to win the game.
You play to win. And
no, you do.
All this other crap that I keep hearing and people spitting on the Colts, you play to win the game. You play to win.
It's not like they're not on my list.
You got the Colts number 7.
I do.
The Colts are playing some of the best football of the season of the National Football League this year. The Colts are playing some of the best football.
They are.
You got them 7 on your list.
I do.
Come on, man, that's atrocious. So they lost to the Rams.
Yep.
So you can't put them ahead of the Rams. They beat the Chargers. We expected the Chargers to be solid.
Chargers aren't on my list. Chargers aren't even here.
Well, we talked about why the Chargers aren't here is because they can't perform with their 2 offensive linemen being gone. But the Chargers were beat by the Indianapolis Colts. You don't want to give them no credit for that. We'll see on Sunday.
Wait.
This comes down to
100%. How can they be a good win but not a good team? Like, what are you talking about?
They beat the Chargers at the time they beat the Chargers. We expected everybody collectively thought the Chargers would respect the Chargers for being a good team. They put up 30. They put up 38 on the Chargers.
Yeah.
Okay. So you said, well, the Chargers are the Chargers. They're not even on your list.
Exactly. They're not a top 10 team.
3 weeks ago, I'm not sure you believed in that.
They have been in
this ain't the FBS. This ain't the FBS. We're talking about professional football, sir.
It only matters because it helps frame his work right here.
At least you understand framing. at least you understand framing. That's all I'm saying. They lost to the Steelers.
No, it's why I'm very interested. Like some of these teams that haven't played great competition, they can move a lot on this list. Like the Colts, for example, if they beat up on KC, then you're like, oh, okay, never mind. Like they can be a real team. And yeah, obviously they beat up on like the Raiders, right? Because the Raiders are a bad team. And that was a good win because they beat them up.
Are the Eagles a good team? Is that a good win?
Beating the Eagles is a good win.
Is beating the Kansas City Chiefs a good win?
Sort of.
Sort of. So beating the two of the teams who previously played in the last Super Bowl is an okay win, in your opinion. It's kind of sort of a good win.
So if you would have asked me that at the beginning of the year, then I would have been like, yeah, beating either one of those teams is a great win. The Eagles is a good win because they're still finding ways to win. KC is finding ways to lose some of these games. So they aren't necessarily the good win that you would have thought they were. They're a 5-5 team. They're a 500 team. Like that's not a great win. It's not a bad win. It's not a team that you're like, oh yeah, they're going to get the first pick or the first 2 picks in the draft. They're still a solid team, and they're a better team today than they were at the beginning of the year when they had 2 of their stars out.
Does the Eagles have an 8-game winning streak? Do the Rams have an 8-game winning streak?
No, but they also didn't have cupcake games for 8 games. They didn't play every bad team in the league and be like,
there's a lot of parity in the league. And for you to say that the team who has won 8, the only team to have won 8 straight games is your number 8 team on your list is ridiculous. That's all I'm saying. This is what this list. I appreciate you putting this list out. Where can the people find this list? I want people to go and comment on this list and let them know what you feel about this list, fans. I want honest, true opinions. And I wonder if Bo will come back and share us what the fans are saying about this list. Because I want this list. Let the people know where they can find this list.
So I share this list on all of my Wednesday shows. So just any of my shows, you can have it. I don't usually end up posting it just because because I run out of time. But if I do post it, it's usually on Twitter.
Okay. Well, where can they find you on Twitter, Bo?
Oh, just at Football Talk with Bo.
Okay. Well, we love having you, man. We love having you. And I'm just giving you some shit. I just gotta kind of can't let you feel like this list is the best list of all. Only because I don't have
it's just my list. Like everybody's is going to be different.
I have. Let me see. Thanks for sharing your list. I don't have my top 10, but I have my top 5, and it's pretty similar. It's pretty similar. I'll pull it up right now. It's very similar. Share screen.
But yeah, no, it's again, the power rankings are just mine, right? So like if you went to everybody else's, they're gonna be a little different.
Yeah, mine's slightly different. Rams, Colts, Seahawks. I had Seahawks on there twice. It would be Eagles and Lions.
Oh, okay.
I got to give the Colts credit for winning. I mean, whether we'll see Sunday if it's what our guys call fake news or not. We'll see Sunday. But I think up until this point, they played good enough football where I got to give them the benefit of the doubt. And
no I know doubt, man.
This is NFL football. What are you talking about? They put it out there again. They put it up there. They've won. So we got to give them credit for winning. Bryce Young. Are you surprised by Bryce Young? We didn't talk about the Panthers, but the Panthers now are over 500 for the first time in a few years. They beat up on the Falcons, what a disappointment. But you called it at the beginning of the season. They just don't use the talent that they have on the squad.
They don't.
For whatever reason. The Dolphins played them. I think Bijan Robinson got the ball 9 times in that game. and they got throttled in that game. But Bryce Young, are you surprised by what Bryce Young is doing? Do you think it's about time? What's your thoughts on this?
Is this the same awesome Bryce Young that lost to the Saints the week before? Like,
oh, here we go. Here we go.
I mean, like
he had a franchise record 448 yards passing. Big deal?
Lots of players have a great day.
Oh,
no. Check this out. Check this out.
My goodness.
Matt Flynn had a 7-touchdown day.
Earned him $20 million right there.
That he didn't take a snap for.
hey, would you take $20 million if you don't have to take a snap?
Hey, all I'm saying is one game does not make a quarterback.
Well, obviously,
and if you go back and look at Bryce's awesome games, okay, so yeah, he put up 30 points against the Falcons, which took overtime to do, but okay. So then you go 7 points against the Saints, who are terrible.
You have about to crap on Bryce Young.
16 points against the Packers. You have 9 points against the Bills. You get 13 against the Jets, also a terrible team. Like what? Like, can we accept the fact that he had a good day, but he's not the second coming at quarterback?
Okay, Bo. Okay, Bo. Time out, man. Time out. But let me help you out, Bo. Let me help you out.
Help me out.
Who's cooking Thanksgiving? Who's cooking Thanksgiving dinner at your house? Who's cooking Thanksgiving dinner?
We're going to Mexico, actually.
Oh, excuse me. You guys are on a whole new something else over there. Yeah. Bo, you got to compliment your girlfriend if she cooks a good meal. Okay, so you can't just crap on her every time because you don't like this meal. But you can't just crap on every meal that she makes. Okay, you got to give her some credit at one of the meals that she makes, Bo. Okay, everything is not crap.
That is not the question you were asking.
No, I'm saying, were you surprised? Were you surprised?
No.
Were you surprised by Bryce Young?
You were framing it more as because he had one time that he made a good meal, his peanut butter and jelly is now amazing.
I asked, were you surprised? Because this is his one time of having a franchise record numbers. That's what I asked.
No, I mean, Am I surprised he set a franchise record? Sure. I thought Cam Newton did more than that there, but
fair enough.
But no, am I surprised that he beat up on the Falcons who can't do anything right? No.
Falcons at one time were the number one defense in the league. I think this was like 5 or 6 weeks into the season. I don't know. That whole team is just it's a bad look for Morris. I tell you that. This is a bad look for Morris because they had talent coming into the season.
It probably gets him fired.
And this is his third chance at it too.
Yeah.
This is it's a bad look for Morris. Well,
they don't even look like they're playing for him now, right? Like the play calling is questionable, right? Because you get talent not getting the ball, but like you see moments in plays that guys aren't hustling anymore.
Well,
and you're gonna lose that way.
I mean, the quarterback. I mean, I hate to kick a man while he's down, but I had no faith in the quarterback at the beginning of the season. Like, I didn't think he was a guy. And
Penix could be fine if they actually wanted to use Bijan correctly.
And what, throw him a bunch of screen passes all game long?
No. How about actually give him touches? Like he said games that like he had like 6 or 8 designed runs. Like you can't do that.
That's true. 100% right.
And honestly, to answer that question, if you're talking about holidays, I cook for Christmas Eve.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I make I do ribeyes.
Okay, so it's her complaining about you. Well, she probably ain't complaining. She's done complaining about Bo. I'm sure of that.
No, she just finds other stuff. It's fine.
Smith and Jigba was once on a pace for 2,000 yards. Is he going to get 2,000 yards?
No.
Who's your league MVP? Do you have a league MVP? I kind of hate to say it. We're at midpoint, so I think it's fair. Anything before midpoint is not really conducive, but we're past the midpoint. Do you have an MVP?
Not a realistic one.
Are you going to say Jalen Hurts because he leads the number one team on your list?
No. If you're looking at an MVP, and if you were assuming it's not a quarterback award, like if you're going to do most valuable, it's got to be Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, good call.
Right, because he is what helps make that go. Think of the last time Danny Dimes had a great season. He had Saquon running like a monster.
Right, exactly.
Right,
yeah.
So you have Jonathan Taylor running like a monster. Daniel Jones looks good. So you're just like, okay, like the formula for him to look good. So I like
he's
him.
The league in touchdowns, isn't he?
Yeah, well, I mean, and he as a running back, yeah, and I mean, at the same time, he's on pace to set some records. So like, there's an outside chance. The problem is it's really a quarterback award. So unless he's going to set the rushing record or the touchdown record for running back, he doesn't have a real shot because that's just not how the voting goes. So then all of a sudden you start looking at Stafford might have a real shot at winning his first one because he is leading the league in touchdowns and the touchdown to interception ratio, right? So, that plays a factor. Or, Daniel Jones is in the conversation because he leads in yardage. So, I mean.
But your guy just broke the rushing touchdown record for quarterbacks. He won it last year. No chance that Josh Allen can win it again.
It's pretty rare for somebody to win in the NFL back-to-back because otherwise Lamar would have won last year. And only because wins matter. Otherwise Joe Burrow would have won it. Because Lamar actually had a better statistical year than the year before when he won it.
When he actually won it, yeah.
So, I mean, realistically, if they were going to give it to somebody back-to-back, Lamar should have won it back-to-back because he had a better year than Josh Allen. That being said, Joe Burrow had a better year than both of them, had a Triple Crown winner on a team that didn't make the playoffs. So, I mean, wins also matter when it comes to this, and that's where Daniel Jones gets to be in that conversation, although I don't think he earns it.
Oh, now Daniel Jones can count these wins towards his MVP
No.
race.
I'm saying it comes down to votes. This is a voting game.
Okay.
So it's going to go to yardage and whatever. He's in the conversation. He will not win because Jonathan Taylor will take those votes.
But once again, excuse me, it's been really nice to have you on the team or join the show.
Yep.
Tell us about this weekly pick situation, and where do I stand in this pick thing? I missed 1 week, man. I missed 1 week, and I'm still not that far behind.
No,
I hate that I missed that week.
The thing that's funny is you can miss a week and be fine. Now you have to be on point.
You have to be damn near perfect.
Yeah, because you got to make up a game like every week, but it's doable, right? Like the second year that I won, I had missed a week, which is hilarious because it's my show and somehow I didn't confirm my pick. But I did ultimately do well enough that I ended up winning. Let's see where you are on the standings.
I'm number 6. I'm number 6, bro.
Yeah.
And I missed a week.
On that note, you better lock your picks in, man.
I know I'm going to do that. I'm number 6 out of the list. How many's in here?
20
people.
Yeah.
So that's pretty dope. I'm on this. That's pretty dope. I'm gonna get my picks in. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you better do that. You miss 2 weeks and it's almost impossible.
Yeah, but I missed a week, so I'm right there. I'm right there. But let the people know once again, man, where they can find you.
Yeah, so on all the social medias at Football Talk with Bo, YouTube channel at Football-Talk, National Streaming Sports on Roku, and of course 97.3 ICU Radio on the radio.
One of the hardest working men that I know, man. It's going to be cool. Sorry we missed you when we talked to Sonia Ramon, the new Storm head coach. She seemed interesting. It's going to be. I'm excited for the season, although they got to figure out something with this collective bargaining agreement. Do you believe they're going to go on strike, or will they figure this thing out?
Well, what
the
is
WNBA
today?
I'm talking
19th?
about. November.
It doesn't sound like the sides are particularly close together, and that extension expires here at the end of the month. So it sure sounds like it's going to be a strike. And the problem with that is you have these other leagues, these other startups that are starting to sign players. So obviously you have the Unrivaled, which is a 3-on-3 that their base pay is starting out at the top end of WNBA money.
WNBA pay, yeah.
You also have Project B, which is a traveling one that is 6 teams, 11 on 11. And it's going to travel and do basically like a soccer style tournament in each country city they go to. And that one, the pay is, estimated about $2 million instead of the $60,000 to $200,000 that the WNBA is.
Oh, that's the Saudi league you're talking about. That's a Saudi. That's a Saudi-backed league you're talking about.
It's not. So it sounds like the money is actually local, but NECA has already been signed to that league.
Yeah, that's a Saudi-based league. I know that she signed to that Saudi-based league, so that's going to be interesting. As you say, the competition is out there.
Well, I mean, the WNBA is overplaying their hand, and and why I say that is because it's not like what they're asking for is outlandish. They're asking for the same things that the other leagues do. They want the 50% revenue share, and Adam Silver comes out and he's like, "Well, they make way less money." Well, I'm shocked that he doesn't realize that that's not how percentages work. Percentages work on whatever the revenue is. Whatever the NBA's revenue is, it's whatever that league's is. So they're not asking for something unprecedented. It's literally almost every other league does that. So the fact
they're making 9% last season or the last deal.
Yeah.
That's not going up to 49%. I don't care how damn good you are. That's not going up to 49%.
Well, so
that may be going to 29 or 30, 36%. Come on, man. These owners aren't giving up 40% of their revenue in one swing.
Well, but see, the thing is is they're not looking at it in a way that makes a ton of sense because, yeah, they made 9% of revenue on a league that was losing money. Now you're going to give up 50%.
That's another conversation that they're actually losing money. I don't think they're.
Well,
these teams sell within days. There's nobody buying into this and continuously losing money. I'm not buying that.
No. So that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is they were getting 9% revenue share on a league that was losing money. Now they want 50% of one that's going from the $40 million loss that they were supplemented by the NBA to a 11-year, $2.2 billion TV deal that gives them $200 million a year.
Right.
So you mean to tell me you don't want to give them 50%?
Give the talent. Give the talent now.
Give the talent money because now you are going from a minus 40 million collectively to a plus 200, and you don't think they should get a raise is wild to me.
Well, yeah, because we gotta build a cushion. We gotta build our nest egg first of all. Maybe in year 2 or 3 of this deal, maybe we can have this conversation. But right now, coming off the bat, come on, you guys can't have all the fun.
But the owners weren't losing that; it was supplemented by the NBA.
Yeah, 100%. I don't believe that. I just don't. I don't think is. I'm on the player side. I'm on the lady side, but I don't think increasing your revenue or your earnings by 40% is realistic. Like I don't think it's realistic.
The thing is these teams are wanting them to not play overseas and do all these other games.
Right.
Well, then you have to jump it because now you've made it so they can't play and make money.
Well, that's still their option. And if you were a team owner, you'd be saying the same thing. I mean, I'd rather have my talent stay here. And, like I'm surprised that some of these Seattle Storm players are still here locally. And still at the gym and working out. That surprises me.
They want to stipulate to it that they can't play in the other leagues.
Oh, that's ridiculous! Come on, so I can't earn no more money other year, and then you're going to try to penny pinch me as well.
That's exactly what they're proposing.
I mean, come on, that's absolutely preposterous.
Well, and that's why there's going to be a lockout.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. I didn't understand that was one of their stipulations. That's absolutely preposterous. If you're not going to pay me. You have to pay me not to go play in some other league. That's number one.
Exactly.
And then if you're not going to max that earning potential, and then say I only we're going to keep the same deal at less than 10% of what the revenue that we're helping to generate, that's absolutely preposterous.
And
if that's the language that they're actually coming up with.
And that's why I say they're overplaying their hand because they can't do it.
That's.
Because then I would be like, you know what? I won't play in the W and I'll go to these other teams because not only are they paying more as a base salary, but the seasons are shorter.
But I mean, that's a cold one too, because everybody would rather
make more for less. Yeah.
Or no. I mean, everybody would rather play closer to home, but if closer to home is this is how they're treating you. I think getting on a plane and going somewhere else is more enticing.
Well, especially when you figure you have 45 games in the WNBA that takes, roughly 4 months to play out. Or you can go do the 3-on-3 or the international one that's going to be done in, 6 to 8 weeks.
Right.
For $2 million. Like, gee, I wonder which one I'm going to do.
Right. Yeah. It's trouble. If that's really their proposal, that is a bad look. Good insight there, Bo. Good insight. Once again, you guys can catch him on Football Talk at Bo on most platforms, and he's a hard-working man. He's covering you covering 3 or 4 teams now, Bo.
Yeah, and then I get to hang out with you at the Kraken game next Wednesday.
I'll be there Wednesday night. That's for sure. Yep. All right, big dog. Thanks for tuning in, man. Appreciate your time. Enjoy your night, and give the fans one more shout out. Let them know once again where they can find Mr. Bo, Football Talk at Bo.
Yeah. So again, all the social medias at Football Talk with Bo, on YouTube at Football-Talk. National Streaming Sports on Roku, 97.3 ICU Radio on internet radio.
Thanks a lot for your time, Bo. We'll holler at you real soon.
Take it easy, brother.
All right, bye. That was Mr. Bo. Hope you guys enjoyed the little banter there back and forth. Pretty cool dude. Thank you guys for your time again, for joining the Voice of the Fans podcast. We really appreciate having you guys here. Now, I didn't go into my picks for this year. You guys saw this season, you guys saw my picks you saw my rankings, which I don't show till after I make my predictions. But the prediction this year, this week, I got Bills versus Texans. I got Bills in that game. Come on, that's going to be an easy win for the Bills. Steelers Bears. I'm going Steelers Bears. I got to go Chicago. Chicago riding high. New England Bengals. I'm going New England in that one. Giants Lions. You got to go Detroit in that one. Lions Packers. Ooh, that is going to be a pretty good game. But I'm going Green Bay. I think the Vikings are smarting after their loss, and the Vikings really, most people expected the Vikings to be better than 4-6. Some of that's playing with a rookie quarterback. I get it, but most people expect them to be much better than what they are. Seahawks are going to smack the Titans. I'm going KC over the Colts. KC is going to bounce back for that win, and I don't think that's going to be a bad look for the Colts. As a lot of people would, just based on our conversation with Bo, I don't think that's going to be a bad look for the Colts because they're playing a good team. The Colts or the Chiefs are playing for the football lives, so I think the Chiefs are going to be able to pull that game out. You got the Jets and the Ravens. I'm going Baltimore in that game. Browns Raiders. That's an ugly one. That's to take your wife out to dinner. To both 2-8 teams. I don't know who to pick, Browns or Ravens. I want to say Oakland off the top of my head. Shador playing his first game. I'm going Raiders, unfortunately. Jaguars at Cardinals. Can the Jaguars do it again? I say yes. Eagles at Cowboys. Philly better win this game. It's a 3. I'm surprised this is a 3-point game. 3.5. Philly by 3.5. That surprises me. And I'm gonna take those points. Falcons and Saints, who cares? But ATL should win that game. But I don't think nobody really cares about that. Buccaneers and the Rams is another of my games of the weeks, and I'm gonna go LA Rams on this one. And then Panthers play the San Francisco 49ers on Monday Night Football. I'm going San Fran in that game. And my picks to get to the spread, I got Seattle minus 13.5. I'm going Philly minus their 3.5 versus the Cowboys. And also I'm going Carolina. I'm taking the 7 points. Carolina plus 7. I think it'll be a closer game. I expect the Niners to win, but I think it'll be a closer game than the 7 points. So that's my picks for this week, fans, in the NFL. Got some interesting conversations about the NBA. So let's jump right into that. The NBA fans season. Are you guys enjoying the NBA? I think the NBA is fantastic. But does the NBA need fixing? Does the NBA need fixing? Would the NBA be a better game if you took out the 3-pointer? Would it slow the game down and force you? Then the big man would become more prevalent now because he's closer to the rim. If you're still running your offense as a big man, it should still be closer to the rim. Would that fix the NBA if you took out the 3-pointer? Think about it. I'm not. We've become so accustomed to the 3-pointer. It's been in the league for now over 30 years. Is the 3-point line hurting the NBA because now guys are just going on 3-on-1 fast breaks and somebody spreads out to the 3-point line and you end up having a three-pointer taken on the 3-on-1 fast break, which I don't know, fans. Chime in. Is that atrocious or what? You guys let me know. Does the NBA need fixing, and would taking out the 3-point line help the NBA? I think what would help the NBA is if you guys would think about the strikes shortened season they had in 2011, when the season actually started in January, and it did go until July, but they played a total of 65 games. That I think was an exciting season because every one of those games counted. You couldn't go on a 2 or 3 game losing streak. If you went on a two or 3 game losing streak, that set you back in the playoff hunt, and it was hard to make up those 2 or 3 games. I think shortening the season would be a big benefit to the NBA. Now the owners, the television, who signed the television contract, and the players are not likely going to buy that philosophy. But I think shortening the season would make the NBA season much more enticing. Shortening, and I'm not talking about making it from the 80 games to 40 games. I'm thinking if you took 15 games away, the one thing I do, and it would be most affected by the stats, because now that guy who averages 31 points a game, he finishes, let's say, a 65-game season at 31 points a game, is going to be looked at as some people, well, he didn't do it in 82 games. Well, yeah, that's kind of like the same argument where we use that cats are still chasing Eric Dickerson's record at 2,100 yards rushing for a season. Well, he broke Jim Brown's record, who did that, I think, in 12 games. It took Eric Dickerson 16 games or 14 games, I think, to do it, or 16 games. One of the two. It wasn't 12, though. So you always have that argument in the NFL as far as that record goes, and multiple records. But how would that look in the NBA? I think that would be the biggest impact. Three-point line doesn't hurt the NBA. What coaches allow hurts. What coaches allow hurts the NBA. Well, yeah. You're not wrong on that, SB, at all. But the shortened season, what do you think about the shortened season? Would that shortened season, I think it was 2011 when the Heat ended up playing the OKC Thunder. I think that was one of the most memorable, exciting seasons just because it was short and all those games matter. Would adding a 4-pointer help the NBA? If you made that logo 3 a 4-pointer versus the typical 3-pointer that we see, add an additional line to make that a 4-pointer, would that further ruin the game? For whomever thinks the 3-pointer ruined the game, they have to think that 4-pointer was just blasphemous right there. Is that a crazy thought, or would that add to the game? You see that most in the exhibitions, with the Celebrity All-Star game, you see a 4-pointer ad, and some of the clown show games they add a 4-pointer. But would that destroy the NBA, or would that add some excitement to it? I don't know. Something that was not exciting to hear was Wemby going out for a few weeks. That was not exciting to hear. That was bad news for the NBA, because Wemby, they had me tuning in to watch most of his games this season, and to see this happen, it was a bad look. This week we had the Hawks upsetting the Spurs. We had the Trailblazers beating the Mavericks in overtime. The Bulls continue their good run. And the Thunder and the Pistons are leading the league right now in both the Western Conference and Eastern Conference. I'm not sure how sustainable the Pistons are being here. Although Pistons were here before and kind of fell off late in the season. Is this start sustainable for the Detroit Pistons? What do you guys think? The Thunder, I mean, they're the defending champion, so you're really going to have to beat them. But what's your all thoughts on this happening? What do you guys think about LeBron returning to the Lakers? And they beat the Utah Jazz, so it was the Jazz, who they're playing a bunch of guys you probably don't know. But do you think LeBron's return to the Lakers makes them Western Conference champion contender. I think it's far too early for that. I think it's way too early for that. We got to see what happens. See if LeBron can stay healthy past the All-Star break. We got to see if he can do that, because if he does that, that might have some bearing on the season. A 4-point line will take the circus ball turned into WWE. I can see why you feel that way, but the question was, would that add excitement to the game? Would that add? Is a celebrity game circus ball? Do you see? Is that what you see the celebrity game as, or are you intrigued by the celebrity game? I don't recall the All-Star game having a 4-pointer, so I can't. I'm not even going to put that out there. But I wonder, would you rather a 4-point shot or shorten the season? What would you prefer, SB? What would you prefer? I think I'm trying to. Does the NBA need fixing? The NBA may not need fixing. It may not. And the All-Star game needs fixing, and they're still trying to do all USA versus the world. How do you guys expect that to go? USA versus the world. A couple of people told me they don't like that format. I think it's a good format. I think they're a few years late on that format. I do. I think they're a few years late on that format. And USA versus the world, I mean, does that world lineup thin down once you get past Luka, Wemby, Giannis, Embiid, or where is Embiid going? What is he going? Is he American or French or African that weekend? I don't know. Well, do we count Embiid? I would count him as a foreigner. But after they do Shea, Luka, Giannis, Joker, like, where do they go? Does it thin down significantly, or do they have 7 or 8 good players to put up in there? What players do you guys put up in there? Because we can name, those are the top players in the league, the bulk of the top players in the league who are foreigners, but then they're going to play against Anthony Davis, Anthony Edwards, Kyrie Irving, John Morant. Who else I'm missing? Triple J, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. Who are the other players? Can that world team compete with those guys? Could the world? Who do you have competing in the world though? In the USA versus the world. I mean, there's a lot of, I say, middle talent. The world team is going to be top heavy. The American squad would be not necessarily top heavy, but they'll have a lot of they have about the next 10 players are American players. If I name the top 5 foreigner players, the next 10 are American players. And I think that the next 10 players could beat those subs once they come in the game. They could take advantage of those subs once they take out the starters for the world team. Who am I missing? More dominant post players and coaches with backbone to hold the players accountable for bad shots and not feeding the post. So Zach Edey. So did the Memphis Grizzlies get fired because they weren't feeding Zach Edey? Is that what you're getting at? More dominant post players. Where is the Shaqs? Where is DeAndre Ayton's of days past? Not DeAndre Ayton, excuse me, DeAndre Jordan of years past. Where are those players? They're not showing up in UFC. They're not showing up in boxing. They're not on the football field. Where did those players go? The centers from big time. Is it just? It can't be just coaches. Coaches fell in love with the 3-point line and stopped holding big guys accountable. Where did those players go? I believe if they had significant big players. Look how long the Philadelphia 76ers have been dragging their feet on the Joel Embiid situation. And finally, they probably paid him too early, but they didn't want to let the size go. Where are those type of players? We're not seeing a lot of those players anymore. So I don't want to say that it's a head coaches. You can't put on the head coaches, can you? I mean, you got to have big players it's not like big players are just sitting on the bench. That's the point I'm making here. But it's good conversation. Appreciate your feedback. Fans, let's jump into you guys can hit me up with feedback anytime you want at _voice of the fans. That's at _voice of the fans. Anytime during the week, man. If you got some topics that you want my feedback on, hit me up. I'm more than willing to prepare something for you guys at all times. Fans, fortunately, I am here at the Great American Casino where they have bonus free play Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Friday, Saturday, it's 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Qualified players can receive up to $1,000 in free play and 2 winners every hour during those times listed. It's 14040 Interurban Avenue South, 14040 Interurban Avenue South. That's Tukwila, Washington, 98168. I do this show every week from here. Awesome drink specials, happy hour specials, and again, it's a casino where you can come put your money on the table, win some money. So Great American Casino, 14040 Interurban Avenue South. Come check us out. This week in history, fans, 1934, William Levy Dawson Symphony, performed by Philadelphia Orchestra. The first symphony by an African-American composer performed at a mega orchestra. That was 1934. November 15th, 1940, Supreme Court ruling in Hansberry versus Lee, striking down racial restrictive housing covenants. This was in 1940, fans. They passed a law. They had to pass a law that no more discrimination, racial discrimination could go on as far as housing goes. They had to pass a law, fans, for that to happen in 1940. So pretty ugly day and time. And that wasn't that long. It was a long time ago, not that long ago. Okay. Carl Stokes elected mayor of Cleveland, becoming the first African mayor of a major city, and that was 1967. 1979, Rosa Parks awarded the Spingarn Medal by NAACP for lifetime activism. Kudos to Rosa Parks. Fans, you guys may remember this week. Back this week, Black Panther Wakanda Forever was released 2022. The Hunger Games Catching Fire was 2013 was released during this week. And Frozen 2, some of you guys have heard this songs repetitively, 2009 was released during this week. Yeah, he's waiting. He's waiting to collect. Hakeem is. But again, you gave me a center from the 1990s. These centers aren't roaming the streets anymore, are they? Who's sitting? Zach Edey's the only guy sitting the bench. We got your boy Wemby out there playing a small forwards game. I don't think these guys aren't sitting on the couch, are they? Or are you saying the scouts need to go find them? Which one? During this week, Michael Jackson released Thriller, November 30th, 1982. Adele, her release, she had a release in November 20th, 2015. I think it was a self-named album, 2015, but that was some of the biggest movie releases and music releases this past week in history. New York and Dallas are playing. It's a 4-point game in the third quarter. Shame on the Knicks for only having a 4-point lead on these guys. Well, they go up 6. They go up 6. Well, let me take that back. Dallas Mavericks shrink that lead. Who watched the Conor Benn fight? Conor Benn versus Chris Eubanks. They did a very good job promoting this fight, although the fight ended up being very lackluster. What you guys' thoughts on Conor Benn looked hungry when they were taping his hands up, and on the contrary, Chris Eubanks never really looked like he was into the fight from the time in his dressing room to the time he entered the ring. He did have a moment with his pops, or excuse me, he did have a moment with his pops and 50 Cent on the stage dancing a little bit, which I think it was long and drawn out. But what you guys thoughts of the Conor Benn versus Eubanks Jr. fight over this weekend in London? This weekend coming up, we have David Benavidez and Anthony Yarde fighting in Saudi Arabia, fighting for the light heavyweight title. We also have Norman Jr. versus Devin Haney fighting on the same card this weekend. A couple days later, we got Inoue fighting Nasukawa. Excuse me. Versus Inoue is fighting on the 24th. Also, we have Pitbull and Roach coming up on December 6th. So over the next few weeks, we got some good boxing matches coming up. And then we have Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul. Who was interested in seeing this fight? Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul. If Joshua didn't knock him out in 2 rounds, I mean, that's when it all this becomes real questionable for Jake Paul. All this he's done, his work becomes real questionable if Anthony Joshua doesn't knock him out in 2 rounds. It's I don't know what else to say, fans. I mean, I applaud the man for going out there making money, putting on events, drawing attention, but he may have bit off more than he could chew with this particular fight. And he picked the right guy because Anthony Joshua, is liable to go out there and start crying in the ring and not finish the fight for whatever reason. Who knows? So he picked a good opponent in that respect to say a man that big, that strong, with that history that he's fighting. He picked a good man, but Anthony Joshua, if you thought people were hard on you before when you lost to Anthony Ruiz or Andy Ruiz, if you thought people were hard on you before, wait until you try to come home back to London with the loss to Jake Paul. I mean, I'm not even talking about coming home to America. I'm talking about going home. He might pitch a 10 in Miami if he were to lose. But if he lost to Anthony Joshua, man, that's the only reason we're tuning in to watch this fight. But if Jake Paul ends up beating or taking Anthony Joshua the distance, I mean, that tells us everything about this whole farce that's been going on. Got a call here. Let me get back to it. Got somebody's feedback about they want to talk hoop. Positional basketball is the greatest hoax played on fans in the modern era. Okay, is that coaching or who was that coaching who did that? The positionless basketball? Wasn't that more about the wing players having the most ability and coaches trying to use that ability against their opponent? The 7-footers, yeah. Again, I think you're mentioning this as if 7-footers are sitting on the bench not getting playing time. Are you saying that Zach Edey should be a superstar in the league, or they should be focused on Zach Edey in Memphis? Because he's about the only 7-footer that I know who doesn't get any playing time. The guy in Portland, Hassan, even he's a back to the basket big man. But his game hasn't developed that to the point like there's not a lot of Visa Zubac's in the league. Okay, there's just not a lot of them. I don't have anything to do with it. It's just not a lot of them. So, are 7-footers extinct? No, they're not extinct. But are they? There's just not a lot sitting on the bench. That's the whole point the whole point I'm trying to make. Fans, if you disagree with me, let me know. Like this dude is doing. Some boxing events. Man, these boxing events, are you guys excited for these boxing events coming up? Excited for the state of boxing? Or are you excited for Dana White to take over the state of boxing? Because Dana White wants to do some shysty stuff when he takes over the world of boxing. He wants to have all the money, kind of like somebody else we're familiar with. He want to have all the money go to the promoters and the venues for putting on the fight, but doesn't want to pay the actual talent and the fighters themselves. Which route would you guys rather go? Do you want to celebrate boxing the way it is, or are you excited for the Dana White era of Zuffa boxing? Interesting. You guys tell me. You guys tell me which route would you guys choose to go? Which is the I don't want to say the easiest route. Which is the toughest route to go? As far as choosing boxers. And are you excited for a Jake Paul? I guess that's a bigger question. Are you excited for a Jake Paul Anthony Joshua fight? It probably is more exciting than the Jake Paul Tank fight. I would have watched either one of them. But I think this puts I applaud Jake Paul for taking on an actual living boxer, somebody who's in the boxing right now. But Anthony Joshua just has a fragile mind. Hopefully he comes in focus. Hopefully he puts on a good show for boxing and in this farce that we're seeing going on. Fans, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast. This has been your man, Cam. I want to thank you and thank Bo for joining us earlier. So let's give Bo a round of applause for being here earlier. Appreciate you, Bo. Thank you. Fans, gave you This Week in History, gave you a lot of sports commentary, and I want to end the show with the quote. The quote I have for you guys tonight is, "The gem cannot be polished without friction, nor man perfected without trials." This is a good one now that I read it out loud. Fans, the gem cannot be polished without friction, nor man perfected without trials. This is an old Chinese proverb. I mean, we're going to go through some stuff. But as we go through some stuff, we get some bumps and scrapes on us, we can dust ourselves off and keep going the next day. That's what we're able to do as men, as humans. Gilly, you don't want to see that one either, bro. Come on, that'd be over in less than a Jake Paul fight. That would be over in less than a Jake Paul fight. Would you agree? But the one-on-one aspect would be pretty cool. Do we want to see one-on-one in the NBA All-Star Weekend? You brought up another great point. Would you rather see some actual NBA players going one-on-one, or Gilly versus Jay crossover, who we know is not going to be a match? But great point. Let's see Gilly get ate up because he think he can really hoop. Fans, I want to thank you guys again for your time, for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast. Thank Bo for tuning in. Give yourselves a round of applause for being here tonight. And as always, fans, I want to thank you guys for making our voice your choice. Have a good one, fellas. Till next week.